Hey guys, a new project. Got a John Deere 1026R. I've had this for a while. And this summer I was hoping to do a little bit of alteration to this part of the deck. It's the Auto Connect, but the drive over deck, which is a wonderful feature. It's super easy to put on. But when you get a drive over deck, the problem is right here. The skid, which is pretty sharp of a skid, it's not even a 45 on there, and sharp edges. Well, as you can imagine, when you're going and cutting the grass, real nice, your average probably level 2 or 3, whatever that ends up being in inches, but your standard kind of cutting height, when you go over anything uneven, that area of the deck scalps the ground terribly. I mean, we're talking big time gouge. And part of the reason why the wheels are hanging where they typically would is, if you look here, the reinforcement comes down to here, which actually is not far. We're not leaving a lot of clearance between here and actually where the wheels are also supporting on the end. So the plan was to possibly, I'm going to pick this up, reach down here, make one of these wheels with a bolt on so that the brackets could sit here, and so when you're ready to, you bolt it onto the side in an angle so that when you drive over it or need to drive over the deck, you pull out the pin, the wheel comes out, and you have nothing in the way and still, not screwing with any of the reinforcement or the support. You would have the wheel would be out and you would be back to sitting on the ground when you have to drive over it. It doesn't bend anything, it doesn't slide. I know that's why they don't have a center wheel, because you can't get one that'll work with both situations. You can either have a wheel that doesn't scalp, or if the wheel's there, then it slides when you try to drive over the deck, or it bends. So, as of right now, this is just in Project 101. Thinking of making something like that, but the problem is when they're coming down at an angle, even the brackets, we can't have them lower than this lowest point, unless, of course, you're always taking off in grass, and you bolt them on, nothing welded. I'm not quite ready to do that, so I think we're going to look at the idea of making a skid a little bit more rounded and a little bit wider. That way it'll still not mess with the structural support of the drive over deck. It will be a little bit less this way, or excuse me, a little bit more, and hopefully we won't be taking chunks, 8 inches wide out of the ground when you kind of crest a hill or whatever else. You can imagine what that's like. It just gouges because it is cutting heights right here. It is a bit lower. So anyways, that's going to be the project. I'll try to update you. And if anybody else has had this problem or try to figure out a solution for something like this, I'm going to walk over. Got the John Deere, again, 1026R, but the deck is probably very similar to what you would have on the X700 series. But I don't know if anybody else has had that problem. Kind of knew it going into it, and it's a little bit worse than I thought for scalping and gouging the lawn all from this. So, got any ideas? Let me know. Otherwise, we're going to kind of tinker around with a piece of a couple different skid designs. I guess I don't know what I'm going to make them out of, but got to figure out something. Otherwise, you're always lifting it, and it's kind of a pain. Cuts real nice when you're on flat ground, though. So, anyways, that's what we got. Update you later. Take care.